On this week's episode of Marketing O'Clock.
We are here in San Diego, fresh from a Google party last night, but they're coming after third parties with a site reputation abuse policy.
And it's finally true. Google is showing ads in the AI overview.
And in Meta Ads creator news, the primary metric is now views.
Oh, on today's show.
Welcome, you are listening to Marketing O'Clock. Just stay tuned. Digital marketing news, but let's get specific. Digital ads, SEO and analytics, social media and more. Pretty much everything that'll make your website perform. With new shows every Friday. We give you the news with sass and puns and definitely hot takes. Thank you for tuning in. You know what time it is. It's officially Marketing O'Clock. Settle in, sit back, keep it locked.
Hey there, I'm Christine Zernheld.
AKA Shep.
I'm Julia Matier,
And I'm Greg Finn.
and it's officially Marketing O'Clock.
Here on November 22nd, 2024. Okay, and before we get into the news this week, we want to thank AdsVisor for sponsoring today's show. And today we get to thank AdsVisor in the flesh because Goo is in the house.
Yay!
We just happen to be together in San Diego, kind of your turf. You're close by, right?
Yeah, I am.
So we're so excited to have you here today. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for joining us.
Thank you for having me here.
So AdsVisor allows marketers to supercharge your marketing analytics with accurate real-time data, from conversational insights with ChatGPT to in-depth analysis in Google Sheets and powerful visualizations in Looker Studio. You guys have heard me saying stuff like that for a few weeks now. So let's hear from you, Goo. Like, what is the mission behind AdsVisor? Why did you start this tool?
Yeah, I started this tool because I wanted to empower marketers to talk to their marketing data and sales data intuitively and then also analyze them affordably.
Yeah. And why do marketers love AdsVisor in your opinion?
I think they love it because of the flexibility of our tool. We allow them to get hooked up to Google Sheets, ChatGPT, and also Looker Studio without a whole lot of limitations. You can connect to a limited number of accounts, make unlimited queries per day, and we offer a very big array of connectors with our tool.
And what types of marketers do you help most?
In-house marketers to agency marketers to startup owners, you name it.
Yeah, and that's really everyone listening to the show, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So don't just take our word for it. I mean, you can kind of take Goo's word for it. But if you want to learn more, you can go to adsvisor.com. It is only $24.99 a month for your first 3 data sources. And we don't talk about this enough. There's a $1 trial. Like, you can try it for literally $1. Like, what are you doing? Anyone can do that. So to learn more, you can go to adsvisor.com right now. That is ADZVISER.com. Thank you, AdsVisor. Thank you, Goo.
Thank you. Trial AdsVisor.
That was so fun to have Goo on. So we're obviously here live in San Diego. Like, what a thrill.
Yeah, it's been great. It's the BrightonSEO / Hero Conf. Huge turnout. I think it seems double, at least from last year. And just a lot more familiar faces from the socials. You know what I mean? And meeting a lot of people I haven't actually met in real life, like post-Panny, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's been really great. There's been some great talks. We have your talk coming up today.
Oh, gosh.
I can't wait.
I can't wait.
I can wait.
And thank goodness I don't have a talk because, update on last week, I attended the Eras Tour and I'm still broken. It's been like almost a full week. My voice has not returned. I gave everything I had.
Honest question. Who do you think sang louder, Taylor or you?
Me. She has a microphone. What am I supposed to do? I need her to hear me from the 200s.
Did she hear you?
I'm sure. Everyone heard me. I'm in pain, and then there was a karaoke party here at Brighton, and like I didn't get to sing because I hurt my instrument. I didn't get to sing. So everyone's just gonna have to bear with me. Started with the story right here. So there's big news this week for Meta creators. They are changing some reporting things. So they say views will now be the primary metric on Facebook for Reels, videos, posts, and stories. Creators will now have a single distribution metric for all content types that is calculated the same way across Facebook and Instagram. The new metric, called views, tells you the number of times a reel or video was played or the number of times a photo or text post was seen on a screen. So nothing is really changing for Reels. This is how people measured things before. But for stories, photo or text posts, views will replace impressions. So I feel like this makes sense to like streamline everything across platforms.
Yeah.
I do think it's gonna all be about like pushing more reels at the end
Oh,
of the
for
day.
sure. Yeah.
I just feel like the views for the reels are gonna be like really, really high. But yeah, it doesn't bother me. I think it makes sense. They're also making updates to video metrics. So minutes viewed and average minutes viewed will be replaced with watch time and average watch time, and will now capture down to the second instead of just minutes, which is obviously why they're not calling it minutes viewed anymore. And that makes me think of reels too, because they're like shorter. So
Yeah.
you'd want to know down to the second how
Right.
long people are watching it. We don't have Adam Mosseri here to ask, but that's my
Unfortunately.
sneaking suspicion.
He's probably nearby in San Diego.
Yeah, he gives me like an LA vibe,
100%.
but I don't know for sure. Let us know, Adam. What else is happening this week?
Okay, so next, people are finally starting to see ads in AI overviews. So
I didn't hear this.
you didn't?
You didn't?
I'm missing everything.
How did you not hear this?
Going to talks.
I guess.
It was last week.
I feel like I've just heard people like about it.
You do not listen to It's New. I know for a fact.
Well, we had the presentation from Jenny yesterday. She did a keynote, and she was acting like, she said it's a slow rollout. They're in beta. She could have had this example.
Yeah. Well,
And these
luckily,
are search ads.
Interesting. I need to look at the
there is an example. So the first example was shared by James Gibbons on X. And he's NYC based and first saw it on mobile. And a few other people have seen examples of this, but it seems to be only in the US and only on mobile. But I've tried several times and haven't seen anything. Have either of you?
No.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Shep
she-
obviously has it.
Yeah, she talked about these yesterday.
Yeah.
But
Interesting.
I've been talking about this on Marketing Clock for a long
Yeah.
time about image assets and how we need to have image assets. And I feel like I'm the only person in the world talking about it. And in my presentation today, I have all these like tips and targeting and tactics and things like that. And then I sort of like fake end my presentation. And then before this was announced, at the end, I'm like, you need image assets. This is the one glimpse that we've ever seen of these search ads in AI overviews, and you are going to need to have image assets. And so I put that in the presentation before this was announced, so I feel super smart. Because I'm going to be able to go up there and be like, I did this like 2 weeks ago, and it finally came out, and it is so image heavy like this.
Yeah.
All of the search ads will need image assets.
And this example, so it's like a travel thing, people trying to figure out how to get from one place to another in Switzerland. And this one is like a cartoon train.
Yeah, it's not even a good image.
Yeah.
But it's an image.
Just like get stuff in there.
And I just think people are that, and it all is sort of like coming together. You know what I mean? Where you're like, Kaiser Sose type thing, where you're like this, you drop a coffee mug, but it's like this is what ad strength is for. Yeah, it's not going to stop you, but you're not going to be eligible for these things. And at some point, they're going to be like, you got to get image assets in here. You got to have all these other things.
Yeah.
And it's going to all make sense at some point, and it's starting to make sense now.
I'm surprised they don't just say that now.
I know.
Right.
I feel like I should be a spokesperson for Google. Do you know what I mean?
You should.
I don't think they're going to call it.
No, that would probably be very bad for the stock price.
We met Jenny for the first time. Well, Greg's newer, but it's lovely.
Yeah, she's the best.
Great talk.
Absolutely love Jenny.
What else is happening?
All right, we've got some additional information about the site reputation abuse policy. And just one thing in general, I just realized how much more I like PPC than SEO. And when you see it's like, I don't report on the SEO stuff because it's like technical, but there at this conference, there's the Brighton SEO track and then there's the Hero Conf track. And man, I love that Hero Conf track.
Yeah.
It's just, especially like at night, like SEOs at night just feel weird.
man.
Like it's just,
Some of them are perfectly lovely.
Yeah.
I agree with that. But there's also like there are some content goblins out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, let's talk some SEO here. The Google site reputation abuse policy, it just got updated and it's still, to me, it just does not make sense in my book. I overslept. I was supposed to go on It's New today, and I forgot to set my alarm for 5:30 in the morning, and I slept in. But I would have loved to mix it up with Barry and Morty on that. But Google says, our evaluation of numerous cases has shown that no amount of first-party involvement alters the fundamental third-party nature of the content or the unfair exploitive nature of attempting to take advantage of the host site's ranking signals. So the biggest takeaway here is that people will be like, well, I have first party involvement, right? And I'm going to use some sort, let's just say coupons, right? I'm gonna use some sort of coupon third party information. I'm gonna weed everything out. And then I've got this nice curated things of digital marketing tools, and it's tools.marketingoclock.com. You can't do that. You cannot even have first party involvement if the content is from a third party. And these are gonna be manual actions that's going to happen. And another quote from Google was, site reputation abuse is the practice of publishing third-party pages on a site in an attempt to abuse search rankings by taking advantage of the host ranking signals. And I agree with that, but I still think you can be a first party and you can still abuse the hell out of your site by saying, oh, I'm the world's best site. I'm Forbes. Okay. Maybe it's not a third party that's putting it there, but the minute that you're coming up with these reviews and best CBD gummies and things like that, that is using the reputation of Forbes, which is like entrepreneurial, money, financial things, and then you're out there schlepping freaking CBD gummies. And
so you can abuse your own reputation.
If you are in-house first party abusing yourself, you can do that. like you can't let somebody else come in and abuse you. You just gotta
you can do it.
It's like self-harm thing. And so, yeah, Barry has a great write-up. Talked about it, and it's new on Wednesday. I would check that out if you want more information. But I still I think they've lost the course with the fact that they're like third party, first party, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no. They just name things so stupid. And that's like going to be take of the week too. So check it out, and T's and P's.
And now for this week's
Cool Tool.
As a reminder, our Cool Tool segment is not an official endorsement or paid mention. We're simply sharing something we found in our travels that may be of use to our listeners and is really, really cool.
This week's cool tool was shared by Glenn Gabe on X, and it's a Screaming Frog SEO Spider V21. So it includes AI, API integration, accessibility auditing, email notifications, custom search, bulk uploads, and lots more. We'll have the link in our newsletter and in Discord, so check it out.
Screaming Frog's got some great merch.
They have some good hats.
Beanies, you get
yeah.
Do they?
Yeah.
Are they here?
You know
And some
what they say?
stickers.
Old habits die. Screaming Frog.
Wait, are they an advertiser? say we gotta get that account. That's the best jingle in the world.
Oh, yeah. I wrote it.
With the
Are
help
they
of
here?
Taylor Swift.
Yes, they have beanies.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know how you missed them. They're
We
like
gotta
right
put the
outside the
SEOs
main
out.
room.
Oh.
We'll have to see what they think of the update.
Now it's time for this week's Take of the Week. This is a hashtag fire digital marketing take with extra spice served up for you. We simply deliver the take for your consumption. We give no opinions. We don't influence. You make the call.
All right, and this week's Take of the Week comes back to more terrible naming conventions from Google. And Martin McDonald at Search Martin on X said, the worst thing Google has done in years was simply calling that update the helpful content update. If they'd call it site quality update or user experience update, we wouldn't have these stupid conversations where everybody feels their own content is super helpful.
Yeah.
And I couldn't agree more. That's just a phenomenal take. And that's a lot of times why Google just doesn't name things anymore. Right?
Yeah.
It's like November 2024 core update. But in this one, it's like, yeah, it's like demeaning to be like, you got hit, but you just made all this content yourself. And you're like, oh, no, I'm just not helpful. It's just like, yeah.
That's such a good point.
Yeah.
But
site quality, I like that one.
Mm-hmm. As someone who had to like name Marketing O'Clock episode titles about the helpful content update, it's just a little easier than site quality, I would say.
Okay.
There's more jokes there.
Okay, well, then keep it. Forget Martin has. No,
Sorry, content people.
I like this take.
Now it's time for this week's Pew Pew Lightning Round. At this point in the show, we split up our content into 3 parts: paid, organic, and social.
First up in the paid universe this week, you know, we've always got updates from Ron Vanderhalen. If you're not following him, I don't know what to say.
You're not doing ads right.
I was really disappointed to not see him here.
Me too.
I know, yeah.
Thank
I
you.
was fanboyed out around him, being like, what are you looking at over there? Like, give me a scoop.
No idea where he lives. It's probably another continent. I feel like he's posting things really early in the morning. But we'd love to see you here, Brom. So he says that target frequency is now available for meta engagement campaigns that optimize to maximum through play views. And when you increase the frequency number with this, it will reduce the overall number of people you would be able to reach. This is another, like, Akvila had a great talk about meta yesterday. And, you know, I don't work in meta, but she almost makes me want to.
I know.
I totally don't mean that. It sounds terrible.
I mean it like this much.
Okay, next up, update from Adrian Decker this week. He spotted a new update in platform for how Google is pushing PMAX. So the person setting up a campaign, it says choose a campaign type. Suggested for you, you'll get more sales from a campaign that reaches people across search, YouTube, and other websites. Performance Max is recommended, and it's auto-selected, and then they have other campaign types with all of them. It's just a matter of time before it's like PMAX and then like, or choose another campaign type.
Yeah, drop down.
And then you're gonna have to like click 10,000 different things to get in there. But I mean,
it's recommended for everyone.
I just would love to see their internal numbers. So it's like how well this does to get people into PMAX. And then you also have to think like, this is their business. They're putting you in what is likely going to make them the most money.
Yeah.
And yeah, wild.
Not surprising. Some people are seeing Microsoft placing ads in the Bing search results mixed in between organic results. I learned about this from Barry. We're not sure if it's a bug or not, but instead of like 1, 2, 3, 4 ads, it's like throughout the page, there's other ads. So people are freaking out.
Yeah. And it's so funny. A lot of times with Barry Schwartz, I feel like he's like just a very even keel. He's just here to report the news. One thing that Barry hates is when ads are like inside the SERPs. He hates it. He really hates it.
Was he talking about it here?
No, it's new. I was kind of making some jokes with him about it, or Jenny too. But like, he just hates the fact that the ads are in the SERP. And he's like, Google said they'd never do this. I'm like, Barry, Google said that they're never going to run ads on their search engine. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, oh, that's a good point.
Some things are sacred. Sorry, Barry. He told me about it. Why am I apologizing to him? This is a fun update. Perplexity.ai is experimenting with ads.
Are you excited?
I mean, maybe I'll get to run them.
Yeah.
The way they're showing right now is interesting. So they said in the announcement that content on the answers you receive on Perplexity will not be influenced by advertisers, and ads will appear in the US to start and will be formatted as a sponsored follow-up question in paid media positioned to the side of an answer. Here's an example of how they'll appear. So somebody searched for something. I don't remember what the question was, but like some related questions were, what are the best ways to network effectively during a job search? How do I tailor my resume for different job applications? So it must have been like a job search query. And there's a sponsored question at the top that says, how do I use Indeed to enhance my job search? And then you could probably click through to Indeed. So I feel like Quora did something similar at some point too. I don't know if they're going to have different options eventually, but right now it's like Jeopardy.
Yeah.
You have to have your ad copy in the form of a question.
I like that.
Another update from Brahm. He has 5 new Meta Ads updates and features. One is automatic product updates. So you can now allow Meta to scan product data on your website to automatically update your catalog. If a mismatch is detected, this sounds a little scary. I have to ask Akvila if she's still here. He also says you can maximize the value of conversions for app ads. You can now select maximize value conversions as the performance goal for app ads. That's cool. He's also talking about the less personalized ad option that we talked about last week, where people in the EU can opt in to see less personalized ads. And then finally, AI generated summaries. Meta Business Help Center articles may now share a summary generated by the Meta AI Business Assistant. That sounds a little scary too.
Yeah.
Can we just have support people?
Yeah.
No,
They're not helpful though. Yeah.
Update from Thomas Assel. He said, spotted these new to me Google search ads popping out on the top with a gray background and image assets carousel. So these are ads. Again, they're search ads. There is an image asset in here for both of the examples. They include a headline, a GMB rating, a GMB category, open status, closing time, and those swipeable image assets like we talked about. And they have the gray background, like they really stand out. So it seems like something they're testing now. I don't know if it's going to roll out more. And Anthony Higman gave his stamp of approval.
What a character.
He's also in the house. Yeah.
Yeah.
We get a lot of quality time with Anthony. In person, he's not as fired up, though.
No, he's a little more subdued.
Yeah.
But he's still very Higman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's kind of a keyboard warrior.
Yeah. Yeah. What were your thoughts? Did he like meet expectations?
Yeah, I feel like he was quieter than I thought. But
Oh, really?
he's nice. I mean, he's always yelling.
Yeah, he's just walking around like yelling at everyone.
Yeah, like
Hugo!
yeah.
Like again, he met Ginny. They were both perfectly lovely to each other.
He said that, yeah, they were great. I don't know. I feel like if I was Ginny, I would have a different, like, I wouldn't think he's so lovable, affable fella. Because
Yeah.
it's like you have to read all these tweets that are like in Cam Newton's secret code.
Yes, but this is Anthony approved, this new test. He says the photos are not blurry in the carousel format. He says, I think it's a solution to stop the heads getting cut off in ads when headshots show up. Hoping they keep this one. You know, here's to hoping.
And Higman and I were like sharing like trade secrets. He has some good stuff. It was like really fun.
Wow.
So one of the cool things about being in person.
Yeah, he was like, don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
You didn't even tell me.
I didn't tell you. I will. No, I might have told you. PPC Greg told me.
Oh, I know. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a secret.
That's a big deal.
Ginny is updating this week, like her theme of the week on X is confidential matching, which even in her talk yesterday, she was like, it sounds like the most boring thing ever. It does.
It sounds like a dating app. You know? Like, look, I'm married, but like we're gonna do some confidential matching over here. Find a
I never
little
thought
honey.
about that. We should have made a sticker.
That's so funny.
Swipe right.
No. So she's talking about attestation, which also sounds so boring. That was announced in September with confidential matching. And now advertisers also have the option to encrypt their data themselves and receive proof that their data is processed as intended. She says this optional technique works using customer-owned encryption keys managed by Google Cloud Key Management Service. And she says there's a small cost with this. No note on what it is. And that was confidential matching with Shep. What's happening in organic?
I'm here with Goo from AdsVisor. Thank you so much for being here today, Goo, and for sponsoring the show. And I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about some of the new things coming to AdsVisor. I hear there's more connectors. Can you talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, we actually just released 7 new connectors with Shopify, WooCommerce, Google Merchant Center, Google My Business, LinkedIn company pages, and MailChimp, and then Klaviyo. Yay.
That's fantastic. And you added in all these connectors. Did you just double the price, I'm assuming?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, same price.
Same price.
And I think one of the things that's really unique is you kind of listen to some of the feedback, listen to what people are asking for and need. And that to me is huge. If you have Merchant Center in there and you have Shopify, Klaviyo, like that's fantastic. Is that something that you just kind of listen to what people are asking for or what's popular? How do you decide what connectors you really want to add on?
Yeah, our customers get back to us, and then some of them give us feedback on what they really want, what sort of connectors they're really yearning for, and then we just go for it and then build them.
Okay.
I built them.
Yes, I know. We were out last night talking about it, and I think one of the things that really kind of showed through is like the pride that everything has to be like really good, it has to be great, and it has to work, and then it can like be released to the wild. So that's fantastic. And I'm assuming that there's also no more restrictions for accounts or anything like that. Is that true with these new connectors?
That is correct. Still no connections on number of accounts that people can connect to AdsVisor. Unlimited queries. You can still build your custom GPT with our APIs as freely as you need.
And I think that that's just something that's so cool and unique is that, you know, you can hook things up and the world is your oyster with it. So great. It's adsvisor.com, adsvisor.com, and it is only $24.99 for 3 connectors to start. And what are those limitations again on those 3 connectors?
No limitations.
All right. Thank you so much for being here today, and thank you for sponsoring the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Greg.
All right. In organic, this week, the November 2024 core update is heating up over the weekend, according to Barry Schwartz over at Search Engine Roundtable. I'm not going to do a full chart review until everything is out because I really like to see the full depth of the charts here. but a lot of commentary of just people talking about like massive swings. So if you're in SEO and you want to just check out your, see how you're doing, good. It's still not fully rolled out yet. It'll probably be about, when this comes out, about 3 more days, I'd assume, maybe more, maybe less. And I just wanted to go in and kind of see if there's any movement at all. In that one chart that had you laughing hysterically last week, the data for SEO chart, where it was just 10 out of 10 the whole time.
Yeah.
Like you have a tool and it is just at the top the whole time. Like I fear it's broken, and it is still just 10 out of 10. No change.
Well, then everything's great.
It's just one flat linear line.
Like, why? That's not even a chart.
Yeah, don't need to report on that.
Oh, we also have some more interviews coming out from people at Brighton SEO. We're trying to get about 20, 25, 30, maybe. We'll see. It's up to shop. It's up to shop on that. But one thing that was funny, I just was thinking about with Barry is we interviewed Barry. It's going to be the most hated interview ever, I think, because all I asked him about were his flights. Like, I was just like, how did you choose this? Did you have any remorse when you were buying the ticket? And like, I asked him nothing else.
Was he happy to do it?
Yeah, he was having the time of his life. He had like 3 hats on. Yeah.
He flew in and out in a day and then did it to do this morning.
Yes.
What is that man doing?
Everything. Everything.
Literally.
All right. We've got more news here from Dwayne Brown over on LinkedIn. He says your promotions will automatically start showing on Chrome. If your client has paid ads only promotion this holiday season, Google could start to show that promo code on Chrome browsers via GMC Next promotions. If you don't want a specific promotion to show up in the Chrome address bar, in Merchant Center, go edit the promotion and unselect Chrome, which is kind of a nice feature. If you don't want any promotions to show, you can just opt out of this form, but people can go make it to the website. If they're on Chrome, they can see that those promotions are there. They can copy the code and they can be on their way. So nice, unless like people are like already there and you're like, hey, I don't like, you're already on the site. It's kind of like a business decision for you. If you're like, I want to promote these things, or if it's like some super secret thing, like maybe turn it off. All right, and Google has announced that it is going to delete all the inactive Gmail accounts, including photos, Gmail, messages, Google Docs on the 1st of December, 2024. If you have this, and I think it's about 18 months of inactivity.
That's not that long.
No,
Yeah.
but like that's a big deal. Like you might have just had an old account or somebody else at your team in there, and you just still have that like running for some reason. You could lose all that data.
Even if it's like a paid one? No, right?
I do
that's a
not
good-
think
yeah.
that will happen.
Okay.
I think if it's a workspace, you're safe, but just Gmail in general, I guess, like a lot of people have like kind of like half check stuff. So
Yeah.
just kind of a helpful note there. And that's it in organic. What's happening in social, Julia?
Okay. First for social, Instagram is removing its following hashtag feature. So this has been confirmed by various users that they're no longer seeing the hashtags they're following in their feed. It'll be fully rolled out by December 13th. And part of the change is because a lot of users were seeing a lot of spam. Also, now that the algorithm is more developed, hashtags aren't really as crucial because like you're just seeing what you want anyway.
Yeah.
You'll still be able to use hashtags for content discovery and posts. You just won't be able to follow them. So
Interesting.
I liked that feature, but it was spammy.
So people
Yeah.
just hashtag everything to try to get more
Yeah.
visibility.
yeah, don't you remember those days?
Yeah.
For my own personal account. Hashtag girls night.
No, literally.
Hashtag San Diego.
Yeah. So.
Hashtag Brighton SEO.
Hashtag Hero Conf.
Yeah.
All right, next, another little Instagram update. They're making it easier for users to remove inactive accounts from their following feed. I kind of like this. So when you look under your following feed, you'll see accounts that have been flagged for review or ones that are deactivated, and you can just like click on them and remove them one by one. The point of this is it can help increase your engagement rates because they're like technically being counted into that calculation. And then it could also help with better audience targeting to remove these people. So not big, but definitely a good thing to check out. Next, from Adam Maziri, he confirms that Threads is becoming an independent app finally. So they've stopped asking people to follow all the same accounts on Threads that they do on Instagram. They'll still use Instagram's graph for posting recommendations, but while onboarding, the recommendations will not exist. It'll take what's known about you from its posts on Instagram to design a For You feed. This way you'll get recommendations from Instagram-based posts on Threads. So little baby steps, but I think it's kind of interesting.
Who's using Threads?
What?
Well-
this is the thing. I thought Threads was supposed to be the replacement for X.
Yeah.
It's not.
But then now,
Yeah.
then it was, oh, it's Mastodon, and then no, let's go to LinkedIn. Everybody's like, this is gross.
Yeah.
I don't want to be here.
But that's like our biz Twitter people.
Yeah, but now it's Blue Sky, and it's like, I do not have enough energy to do all of these things.
Blue Sky's another app.
Yeah, it's the one that was supposed to take it over, and then Threads beat Blue Sky, and now nobody uses Threads.
Maybe people will now.
Are you on Blue Sky?
No.
Went on, there's nobody there.
I thought that was the name
You're
of
the
like,
only one.
Disney projects that are being built.
To be fair, I was there a long time ago. I do think a lot of people that just do not agree with X are over there. So
Yeah.
I just have to go do it, but I'm like so tired.
Tired.
Maybe next week. You've been doing a lot.
Next week, I'll do it next week. I have an account. I'm just not there yet.
That's the hardest part.
The account?
Yeah.
See, I like that part because it's like I don't want somebody else claiming my name.
Yeah.
Like
You
you
should
don't
make
have that
accounts on
problem.
everything.
No, especially because my name is It's Xteeneth.
I'm always whenever I try to like look for you on somewhere, I'm like, I have no idea how to find this.
I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I don't change it.
IT. No, ITX. No, IXT.
It starts with it's.
Oh, that's why I get it wrong all the time.
Yeah.
All right, and then last for social from Brom Vanderhalen on LinkedIn. Meta now allows you to reset suggested content across Instagram, Explorer, Reels, and Feed. So if you don't like what you're seeing, you can refresh for like just a new For You feed or For You page sort of type thing. I think it's kind of cool. TikTok's always had the option to do that, but now Meta does too. So.
And that brings us to our real life segment, straight out of our accounts and into your ear holes. It's time for Working Hard or Hardly Working, where we talk about what's going on in our IRL work, good, bad, or otherwise.
For me this week, I feel like we're all going to be talking about this week in the show. So many amazing talks. I do want to say Andrea Cruz and AJ Wilcox are just like the LinkedIn gurus, and I just like want to work more on LinkedIn now.
Yeah.
So many great talks. I do like when people include the link to their slides, but I wish everyone would just do it in the beginning because I'm taking all these pictures that I don't need to take because then I get the link in the end. Just a little tip.
In the deck, there is a link thing there to put at the beginning
In yours?
in the standard protocol one.
Oh,
Mine has it.
to have it at the beginning of the, yeah. Maybe I missed it. I don't know. Could be my fault. User error. What about you, Julia?
All right, for me this week, this is my first conference, and it's just so fun to like be around so many smart people and go to all these good talks and just like hear people like network and talk to each other and like tell each other and try and help each other. So it's been a lot of fun, and it's just really cool to be surrounded by so many other people who are like doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's crazy people you've like known on the internet and we talk about
Yeah,
on the show.
yeah, that's another thing too. Just like, wow, you're real. Like,
Here in the flesh. What
Yeah.
about you, Greg?
And for me, it's similar. Like, I just love the people aspect of it where this has been like really the first like post panty thing. So
I don't like that.
I feel the only way to say it. I don't want to get banned. But there are a lot of people since then, like I've just never met in person. And there was just a slew of people like Jeremy Kranitz. I met Robert Brady and I didn't realize he was Robert Brady. And I'm like, oh, it's great to meet you.
Yeah.
And then I looked at his tag. It was so loud in that one thing. I'm like, wait, you're the Robert Brady from like the internet? And he's like a listener to the show and I felt so stupid. And then we had met some other great people like Brandon. We were walking, in a bar and he's like, hey, the only reason I'm here is because of you. And I'm like, this is so cool. And we were talking to him all night and he was a super cool guy and very smart. And I was talking to Corey Hankey late at night last night. It's just so cool to be around like so many nice people that are like just great. I don't know. I love it.
And it's been a great experience for our team too, because we have like the two offices and just like catching up with all the Rochester girlies. I'm just really glad we did it.
and Harrison.
He's a Rochester girly too.
Now it's time for this week's ICYMI.
ICYMI people.
This is something you just might not have seen. Maybe something that you overlooked, but you shouldn't have.
ICYMI people, Thomas Essel is sharing hidden settings that can cost you money if you don't control them in Google Ads. So he has this broken out between PMAX and demand gen. And I think that if you're setting up one of these for like one of the first times, these are definitely just things that you have to think about. And Google kind of hides them. So it'd be just a great thing to bookmark and look back on later if you're like inspired by Brighton SEO and want to try demand gen or PMAX for the first time. So for PMAX, he's talking about like being strategic about your location options and your location targeting. being strategic about final URL expansion and asset creation, whether you want it all on or off. And then also branded traffic in your search themes. And then for demand gen, he talks about video partner network settings and optimized targeting, because we know we had the drama about the signal with him last week. So I think this is a great guide for anyone. He has like a beautiful image too. So thank you, Thomas.
Now it's time for our must-read marketing article of the week. An article so advanced, so in-depth, so detailed that we simply cannot cover it in its entirety on today's show.
All right, and the must-read marketing article of the week this week is a guide to split testing in PPC from Sophie Logan. And Sophie runs through what split testing is, why is it important, what you can split test, how to do it in PPC, and just a whole bunch more. I think a lot of times we do more advanced stuff. This is like right in the middle, but it's something that can really help a lot of different people. And many times, like in my talk, I'm going to talk about experimentation, trying, testing, doing all these different things. And some people need the fundamental framework in order to do so. So this was a great article. Thank you, Sophie.
And now onto our playlist of curated songs to work to. You can head over to playlist.marketingoclock.com to listen to Marketing a Playlist. I will be adding Peter. It was one of my surprise songs at the Eras Tour, and I was just so happy because it's one of my like hyperfixation songs right now.
Who sings it?
Taylor Allison Swift. Thank you for asking. What about you, Greg? What will you be listening to on the plane tonight?
I will be listening to Texas by Mallrat. Great name for you, Mallrat.
Mall or mole?
Mallrat.
What is that?
It's like when you used to just hang out at the mall, you were mall rats.
I was a mall rat for a couple years.
Oh, you identify as a rat?
No. What about you, Julia?
I'm going to add Waking Up in Vegas by Katy Perry.
Oh, because we had our layover there?
Yeah.
All right, that does it for today's show.
It's now officially not Marketing O'Clock.
Thanks for listening.
We miss you already.
We can't wait to see you next week.
Thanks for listening to Marketing O'Clock. If you're looking for more information on today's topics, head over to marketingoclock.com/newsletter to receive every single article we covered. We share the news as it breaks in our Discord community. Head over to community.marketingoclock.com to join.
Settle in, sit back, keep it locked.